Okay, we have a couple more. What's my greatest common factor here? A 6. 6 times what gets me 6x? An x. 6 times what gets me 36? A 6. And then I'm going to have a y tacked on at the end. All right, this one's a little bit more complicated, so we're going to take it one step at a time. Let's look at the numbers. What's my greatest common factor? 11. My greatest common factor for the variables? X squared. This is the largest number of variables that they share. And the y would just be a y. So what do I need to multiply 11 by to get to 22? 2. What do I need to multiply x squared by to get to x to the 4th? Another x squared. And y times what gets me y? Times nothing, it would just be y. All right, moving along, negative 33. What do I need to multiply 11 by to get to that? Negative 3. And then x squared is the same. So I would just have my y. What do I multiply y by to get to y to the 3rd? Y squared. This would be my factored version. All right, next, what's our greatest common factor? Now we've got 3 pieces, right? So we need the greatest common factor for all 3. Well, it's going to start off with a 3. How about the x's? Notice this doesn't have any x, my last term, so I can't factor out any x's. What about y? Yep, they all have a y. Okay, so 3 times what gets me 12? 3 times 4. And how am I going to get that x squared? We're going to put it with our 4. And a y times 1 gets me y, so I don't need to write anything there. 3 times what gets me 6? 2. I need to include that x. And a y times 1 will get me y, so we're good there. Okay, 3y times what gets me 3y? 1. Here we have to write the 1 in because I don't have anything else that I'm multiplying by. So it needs to be there to signify that we have that 3y in our original problem. Okay, the next one got cut off at the end, so I'm just going to rewrite in here what we got missing. Okay, looking at the numbers, what's my my greatest common factor? 4. Looking at a, it's going to be a squared. Looking at my b, that would be b squared. But I'm going to stop right here just for a second. Do we have any way that we could simplify this down? Yeah, look, these guys are like terms right here. So I'm going to erase what we just did. And let's go ahead and combine those like terms. 4 plus 12 would be 16. Okay, now let's factor. What's my greatest common factor? 8. I have an a squared and an a squared. And I have a b squared and a b cubed, so I have a b squared. So 8 times what gives me 16? 8 times 2. I gotta have that a squared in there. And then I've got 8 times what gets me 8? 1. Put my a squared back in there. And my b. Oh, look what I did. I didn't factor out an a squared, so let's go ahead and add that. I'm left with 2 minus b.